Hi everyone, it's Tawney. In today's video, I am doing a full face of Colourpop makeup, which will also include a review of the Raw Beauty Kristi eyeshadow palette, and I got one of the glosses. So I'm very excited to talk about this. I haven't done a full face of Colourpop in terms of wearing all day for myself. I've done like, I'll wear a concealer or I'll wear a foundation or I'll wear this or that, but I've never done a full face. So I think it'd be kind of interesting to see my thoughts as a whole of like, can I get a good like full face out of this? I just want to note that I'm a little sniffly. My allergies are kicking in today. But I just want to note that I don't have a full face of Colourpop makeup. I don't have any pressed powders or setting powders of any kind. So I'm just going to have to work with what I do have. But I have pretty much everything else except for some brow products. I don't have brow products, which I should really look into their products because I've heard they're good. I haven't heard like super great things, but I've heard like good enough stuff that like, you know. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to be going in with the Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation, and I really need to do a lot of covering, especially in this area. I've gotten a lot of acne lately, and I think that's from wearing my mask. I know I need to clean it because when I wear makeup and wear my mask, it gets covered in makeup because that happens, you know? Whenever it's coming in contact and I'm rubbing my nose through the mask because I don't want to take it off to rub my nose, then that kind of like gets all that makeup onto the mask. And since it's a white interior, it's gonna show and it's gonna be noticeable. So I definitely need to wash that. Oh hey, my laundry's done. But I need to wash that today. That's one of my things to do today. I have a lot of like house cleaning and housekeeping stuff to do. If you haven't seen my other previous videos, hopefully those will be up before this one, but who, you know, maybe not. But I am moving. I have found a new apartment. It's literally across town, which I live in a very small rural town. So that's not really that far. Like our town is like a good mile. Like that's about as long as, you know, distance wise. So I'm really only going like a quarter of a mile away from where I'm currently at. And then like half of a quarter of a mile from where my parents live. So I'm still like in walking distance to my parents' house, but it's a little bit further than like where I'm currently at. But my parents are excited about that because I'm still staying around like close to home. But I'm excited because I get away from my noisy neighbors and the people at the bar that like talk really loud and smoke all the time outside and play music from their cars. And like I did a meditation class, like a wellness class online, and it was like a Zoom call type thing every Tuesday for 2 hours. And there were a couple times I had to go into my closet because it was just too loud and I just couldn't, like I couldn't focus on the class because it was just too much noise. So that is kind of a problem. So that'll definitely help. It'll encourage me to take more classes like that, I'm thinking, since I have more quiet and I can like fully relax. I've been thinking about doing a lot of yoga. I'm gonna start doing my piano lessons again because that's something I definitely stopped doing with the virus because like my piano teacher is older, so she didn't, sorry about that. So she didn't want to do visits, and obviously we weren't allowed to go places, so that kind of like, she had to stop for that reason as well. But I haven't wanted to go back just because of everything going on, and I've been going through a lot of stuff, and I mean, she would be very supportive of me and like, you know, trying to help talk me through things. So I kind of feel like it would be good to see her, but I've just been a little like, I don't know, been kind of keeping my distance, I guess. Like we text every now and then, she asks how I am and just thinking of you and all that, and like really nice, like definitely I need it type stuff. But so I'm gonna start taking my piano lessons again, which means I'm gonna need to start practicing again because I have been severely putting that off. So I have plenty of things to do if we were to go back into a second lockdown, aside from like working and stuff. So like I'll have plenty of webinars to do and online videos to watch and just ways to like work with my clients online and over the phone, because that's definitely something I'm like always looking for more information on, like what can be done, and especially for like outreach to get new clients in, because right now, like, because we can't do anything in person, I have to do a lot of like over the phone, online, like messaging and like text messaging and things like that. So you definitely have to keep people interested that way, which can be really hard, honestly, because it's just so easy for someone to like unfriend you or block you or like not respond to your messages, and then there you are, you know. So that's definitely something I want to get more information on. I really like the way this foundation stick is wearing so far. It's a little bit light, as you can tell. This is the natural light coming from the window, and then I do have a regular light behind my phone. But I really like the way it has applied. It's covered a good bit, not enough to, like, you can still see some blemishes, but it has done enough that I'm not feeling too like vulnerable in terms of like my skin showing through. And then I use the Pretty Fresh concealer. I have the shade Fair 10N, and in the foundation stick, I'm in the shade Fair 27N. I think they go pretty well together, but I think I would need a deeper foundation stick tone, just like a tinge, like maybe 1 or 2 shades darker. But the problem with Colourpop is I could fit in like 5 different colors in the fair spectrum, just because they're all so similar to one another. They're so close in shade tones and things like that. I thought I had one of their bronzers in the stick formula, but I don't think I do. I don't know if they came out with bronzers or if they came out with just highlighters and blush, but I got the blush in the shade Aloha. This is the one that Kathleen recommended, and I'm just going to apply this to the back of my hand and then use a sponge to apply it to my cheeks, because I don't want to have too much pigmentation on my cheeks, especially from like this kind of a product. I have to figure out a beauty blender that hasn't been used with foundation. Okay. I might need to apply it to my cheek because I'm not seeing much. Okay, I can see a little bit more in the camera, but from my mirror, I'm not seeing much pigmentation coming up. I know I've used this before and I've liked it. It's not something I reach for a whole lot, just because these types of products aren't something I like find myself liking. I don't really like cream products. I found a couple cream bronzers that I like. I don't hardly ever use cream highlighter, just because I feel like that's something that like I know what I like and I know what works for me. So I want to use products that work for me and that I like. And I just haven't found a cream highlighter that I'm like floored with. And I know a lot of people recommended a couple from the Colourpop stick line, but I'm not sure what those are. I kind of think this might be one of those things that the more you blend it, the more it disappears, because I just noticed that I was like blending the side right here and it just kind of like disappeared. So that's kind of unfortunate, because I feel like these products you have to use a lot and then you end up like going through them really quickly. Whereas a powder product, you barely use anything and it looks fine, you know what I mean? So like, I'm definitely one of those people that puts blush on the like apples of my cheeks, and I do try to go up a little bit, but I typically stay with the apples of my cheeks just because I feel like that's where I want the color to be. I really like the way this looks on camera, especially. I think it looks a little bit better on camera than in my mirror, which that's fine. I mean, I'll deal with it. But I think the more I put on my makeup, the like better it'll look. But yeah, I kind of like the way that looks. I'm not totally like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's not bad, but it's not like my fave. So then I have this Z palette, which is not a Z palette. It's from Shop Miss A. And I have this bronzer from Colourpop. It's called Opening Act. It's one of their pressed powder bronzers, and I'm going to go in with that as my bronzer. I haven't had much luck with their bronzers, but I have seen them. They came out with a blush that looked like a bronzer shade, and I think that this might be that. I'm not totally sure, but I was looking to try something like that to see if maybe I would like it, that kind of like formula. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing Colourpop's face formulas more in terms of like powder products, just to see like, do I like them? How do I feel about them? Do they work for me? I'm very interested in trying more of the brand out, because I feel like so far most of what I've tried have been concealers and eyeshadow palettes. And while that's great that they like know what they do best, like I love most of their concealer formula, I really like the original concealer formula. I forget what it's called, but it comes with the white top I can't think of what it, I honestly can't think of what it's called, but I ran out, and whenever I got a new shade, I bought one that was too light, or no, it was too dark, like way too dark to even try to use. So I need to go get a new one, but I just haven't done so. And I think the one time I went to go get one, they didn't have my shade. So I didn't want to get one just to get one. I wanted to like make sure that I knew it would work. But yeah, I think that bronzer's looking okay. I'm not seeing a whole lot of pigmentation off of it, like more so on my like forehead and my temple area. I'm seeing it show up. I'm not totally sure how I feel about that because I don't like having to keep digging into a bronzer. I kind of like one that like you put the product down and then you like blend it out. You know what I mean? Like that's just something I gravitate toward. Maybe I'm gonna have to do more of like a blush look today. I don't know. Things aren't going the greatest right now, and I apologize. But yeah. And I also have one of their blushes in My Sun and Stars. And then I have a highlighter from them in Main Attractions, a pressed powder highlighter. But those aren't the ones I'm going to use today. So now I'm going to do my brows so we can get into the palette. I don't have anything from Colourpop, but I'm going to use the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow and the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara because those are just things that I'm like familiar with. But I definitely do want to look into the Colourpop brow products to see how they work because I know people like, I think they said decent things about the brow pencil, the one similar to what I'm using now. And I know that they have liked the tinted mascara or the clear mascara. So I'm interested in trying that out as well, just to see how they work and if I like them. Because I'm not like super picky with my brow products, although I'm one of those people that like, if it works for me, I will use it to death. But I typically don't like using things that are like meh. Like I used one from Maybelline that was very thick and it added like fibers, and I really didn't like the way that looked on my lashes. I felt like I had too thick of lashes, that it just did not, like it added too much, and it was like, look, I don't need that much, like I don't need that much product for my lashes, you know what I mean? Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to be using the Milani eyeshadow primer just because, okay, there's a hair stuck, okay. Just because I know that that works the best and I want to give this eyeshadow palette like a very good shot. Like more so than just like a typical Colourpop review because it's from an influencer and it's Kristi, and you know, I want you guys to know that it's like legit good. Especially for those of you who aren't really like Colourpop fans, because I feel like that's something that like, you know, you might like Kristi, but you might not really like Colourpop. So this could be a chance for you to try Colourpop out and see if you like it. I'm very excited for her. She said that she has been in talks with them about this palette since December, which is so crazy to think that like it's been that long that you have to go through the process of like making a palette before you actually come out with one. But she came out with it inspired by the Pacific Northwest, which is like the exact opposite of what I am in, like where I live and stuff, because I live in I'm on the East Coast basically. I'm like 5 hours from the beach, so that's exciting. Not that I go to the beach, but that, you know. So we are going to go in with the At Forest Sight eyeshadow palette. Look at that packaging. Like, that is just really, like, this is, like, really good packaging. Okay, gotta take that piece of film out because I don't need that. Here's what the palette looks like on the inside. It's a very, like, rainbow palette, I would say. It has a lot of, like, deep colors down here at the bottom. And, like, all the colors are very deep and rich, which I think is very, like, common of what you'd see in the Pacific Northwest. But I think it's really interesting to see in a palette because you get different kind of looks than what you traditionally would. And I think because it is because it has all these colors, I think it kind of stands out that it has deeper tones to it, so that way it's not like your typical rainbow color. I'm going to go in with Old Growth and use that as my transition shade because it looks a little bit pinky, but it looks like nude enough that I feel like I can like make that the transition shade. But I think Puffball would also work. I'm just going to go in with Old Growth. And I think I'm going to do kind of like a sunset look with this. I didn't want to do my typical like brown neutral look because like that's what I do all the time. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit because I don't want to give a review like, oh, there's not enough brown in it. Like, that's not really a review, you know what I mean? There is a little bit of fallout within this palette that I've noticed. I think I just dug in a little bit too harshly. I don't think it's so much the palette, but I have had good luck with Colourpop's eyeshadow formula. I think it's probably my favorite, so I like know how the formula works. And I think it's really nice that whenever people come out with like a collaboration and things like that, you don't have to worry about the pigmentation of the palette being crappy. You just know that it's gonna be like the good formula. You know what I mean? Like some brands don't always have the best pigmentation for influencers whenever they do a collab, and it makes the palette like suffer, and then it ends up not being the greatest, and then the influencer gets all the flack for it, even though it like has nothing to do with them, you know? Oh, I just recently got the Stone Cold Fox brush roll, so I'm gonna go with E23, and this brush is a little bit like, it's thin on the side and it has a curve at the top. So I'm going to go in with Chanterelle, which is a really nice mustard tone. And I'm going to use that in my crease and kind of push that up a little bit. This is a really nice mustardy yellow. It's not a bright yellow, but that's a good thing for this palette especially. But I'm really liking it so far. And it blends out so well. Oh yeah. Look at that yellow. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm really liking this. Yeah, that's looking nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, now we're gonna go on with the other side and do the exact same thing. If you guys want to, you can follow my Instagram and Twitter. They're linked in the description down below, as well as my Poshmark store. So if you're interested in any makeup that I no longer want or use, definitely check that out. I keep my makeup in a non-smoke apartment, obviously. I only have a guinea pig, but he's not around the makeup in any way. And the makeup is very well taken care of. Most of the time I sell stuff that I just don't use. So a lot of it is like brand new makeup. So definitely check that out. But if you want to check out my Twitter and Instagrams, go right ahead. I'd love for you guys to like get a hold of me through like the DMs or like at me on Twitter and stuff and show me looks of makeup you've done, or ask me questions, or ask me like to review products. Like I definitely love to interact with you guys. I'd like to get to know you guys a little bit better. And I really appreciate you guys coming to my channel to watch my videos. It really means a lot to me. So let's see. Do I go in with the same brush? No. Okay, now we're gonna use E27, and I'm gonna go in with Rainier, which is a really nice rust red. And I'm gonna put that right below that yellow and kind of blend up a little bit, but not too much into my crease. I'm not the best when it comes to eye looks using multiple brushes. I usually use like the same brush and just hope that it works. So I do apologize if my skills on using this multiple brushes is not the best. Okay, yes, this looks nice. I just fogged up that thing because I got too close. Okay. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Should I use the blues and greens on my lower lash line, or should I just stick to using like red or purple on my lower lash line? That is the question. I know you guys can't answer by the time that I am filming this and putting it online, but I'm all sniffly today, and I do not like it. My allergies have been like very crazy lately because the weather has been so weird. Like it goes from being like 50 degrees outside and like freezing cold, you know, it goes from like 28 in the morning to 51 in the afternoon. and then goes to like 50 something in the morning and 72 in the evening like yesterday. Like, it's just so weird, and I never know what to wear, how to dress, like any of those things, and it's just, it's what I don't like about fall. But I like summer, because summer's just always hot. I like it hot. Okay, let's see. Let's do my outer corner, and that's the Makeup Academy crease brush, the 315 brush, and I'm going to use my highlighter that I'm going to use today, and it is the Flexitarian highlight, and I'm going to do that on my brow bone and in the inner corner. Nice, 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 nice. Got fuzz in my hair. I just combed my hair, and sometimes fuzz gets stuck to my hairbrush. I need to find a way to clean them, because I feel like even though they're cleaned out enough that like they like, there's no hairs, I still feel like I need to do like a better deep clean. Now I'm gonna go in with Amanita. It's this purple color right here. It has a star beside it saying that not intended for use in the immediate eye area. So I'm thinking maybe it's a pressed pigment, which I don't really understand. Maybe I should have watched Kristi's video more in depth. I watched the video and where she talked about she did swatches and talked about the inspiration behind the colors. So maybe I just missed this part, because I was like, I was casually watching and I forget where I was or what I was doing when I watched it. I think I was like in the car. I don't know where I was. Like, not as a driver. I was not driving down the road listening to this video. And if I was, I would have had my phone like off to the side. Like, I listen to stuff. That's all I do, you know? But yeah, I'm using the Colourpop E25 brush, and I'm just kind of stamping that as like an eyeliner, but it's a little bit chunkier than like a typical eyeliner, just so it can kind of get that color down. That is looking really nice. So I stamped that. Now I'm going to go in with the Profusion something something brush. It does not have a name. I think it's Profusion. It looks like this. It's very chunky, and I'm just gonna kind of blend that out and like smoke it out, I guess, but I'm gonna try and keep it kind of away from the red, so that it's not making the red too purpley. But I'm really liking the way that looks. Yes, really liking the way this looks. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yes. I might go in with a little, yeah, I might go in with a little bit more red. I wasn't going to initially, but the red's kind of getting lost in that purple. So I'm gonna go back in with the E27 Colourpop brush, and I'm just going to very lightly pack that on my lid. Sorry, you guys can't see that. And I'm just going to kind of make the red a little bit more prominent. Yes, that looks good. Really liking the way this looks. I think I am going to go in with the blues and greens down on the lower lash line, just because I can. There's something on my lid. Okay, I don't know what that was. It didn't come with that purple though. It was like clinging to my eyelid, and it's like, that should be purple, not lint. Okay, yes. Let's get it. Yes, it looks nice. Yes, I match my sweater. You guys, oh my gosh. That's exciting. Okay. That just stained up my brush because they were white tipped. This is the first time I'm using some of these brushes. I was gonna use some of these for the lower lash line, but I think the color has kind of like stained it up. So I'm gonna have to switch it up. I'm gonna go in with the E22 brush. It's kind of pointy and thin, but it's more like a blending thing. Don't know. And we're gonna go in with Emerald City, and we are going to do that on the outer part of the lower lash line. That looks really nice. Sometimes greens like this can tend to get very dark and muddy looking, and they just don't perform well. So I'm very glad that this one's not doing that, that it's not looking weird. Especially on me, greens tend to not look the best. Like greens in like that kind of tone don't always look the best. I mean, it could be my application's not the best, but okay, there is either a lash or a piece of brush that was chilling on my face there. Okay, yes, that looks nice. I'm gonna go in a little bit more on this side. Yes, we're looking nice. So I'm gonna brush that off. I'm gonna use the same brush because they have the same tones. And I'm gonna go with PNW, which is Pacific Northwest. This review is just turning into a mess. I don't even know. Yeah, I think I did my lower lash line a little bit too weird. So yeah, upper part's great, lower part's a disaster, but we soldier on. I will fix that. Yeah. Okay, so that is the palette. I really like it. I think it works really well. Now I'm gonna go in with Flexitarian and put that as my highlight on my cheekbone, on my highlight spot. I like this highlighter, but I find that Colourpop's highlighter formula is very hard for me to use. Like I just don't really know how to use it, if that makes sense. Like I think because it's like kind of a liquidy cream product in a sense, like it kind of has a different formula than like your typical powder highlight, that is just hard for me to use. Like I just haven't mastered it really. I don't know why. I don't really know. I don't know. And then I do have one of the Colourpop blushes in Fresh and Peachy that I'm just gonna kind of go over very lightly over this just to make my cheeks look a little bit more peachy. Looking peachy keen. Okay, and now I have the freckle pen here. I have the lightest shade. It's soft brown, and I'm just gonna very lightly put some freckles on my face. I don't want to do too many freckles because I don't normally have freckles, so like I don't want it to be too weird looking. But yeah, I like this pen. I really like that they came out with this. I saw a lot of people were like, why are they coming out with a freckle pen? Like, we already have freckles. And it's like, you know, not everybody does. Oh yeah, you can see those. Those look nice. Now I'm going to go in with the Colourpop F29 brush and just kind of pat that down just to kind of smooth that out. I'm actually going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder and just set my face because I realized that I didn't set any of my face. And I would like to at least set part of it. Yeah. Okay, we're looking good. We're doing all right. We're there. Okay, we're looking all right. Okay. So now I'm gonna use the Volumizing BFF mascara. I have the darkest shade, the black shade. I'm not the biggest fan of this mascara just because I feel like it doesn't give me enough like volume to my lashes. But I think it's all right. Like if you're looking for a mascara and you just want something like to tint your lashes or just to kind of like just something cheap, I guess, this would be one to check out. But yeah, see, it doesn't really like do a whole lot, so it's just not one of my favorites. But for the fact that we're doing a Colourpop video, I will use it. My eyes don't look too bad. I'm sorry I let you down, Kristi. I'm not as experienced as you guys. I'm just trying my best. Okay. It's not looking terrible. I'm gonna go in with the 4th Ray Beauty Glisten Up Mist. 4th Ray Beauty is a branch off of Colourpop. I'm gonna use this to set my face. The only thing I will say I don't like about the setting spray is that the spray is like crazy intense. Like it smells great though, but it like, you have to put your arm back really far so you don't get coated in the spray because it is intense. Okay, yes. Okay, we're looking all right. I'm not sure how I feel about the lower. Oh no. Okay, I was gonna use a lip liner, but I need to sharpen it, so we're not gonna use that. Sorry guys. But yeah, the lower lash line looks a little weird, but it's fine. So I'm gonna go in with the What's Your Sign cream lipstick. This is one from the Kathleen Lights collection. I really like that lipstick. It's just kind of like an everyday lipstick, like a throw on and go. And then I have the Luxe Gloss in Glacier, which is the lighter one from the Kristi collection, and I really like the packaging and the way this looks. Yeah, I did the rest of my, yeah, I did a full face, yeah. I was like, did I forget something? It's like, no, I didn't forget anything. Yes. And this smells really good, to be honest with you guys. Like, really nice. So yeah, that is the look for today. I hope you guys liked it. I am sorry about any technical difficulties we had. I do apologize for that. I'm working on it. I do have plans for whenever I move to have a better setup for doing my makeup and filming and things like that. So definitely stay tuned. That I will be moving the week after Thanksgiving. I'm very excited. I can't wait to be in the new place and be situated and be happy and be comfortable. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell down below so you get notified when I upload. I typically do uploads every 3 to 4 days, but it might be a little bit stagnant like now. I'm not doing a Vlogmas, but I will try and do some different looks for Christmas and December just to try and switch things up a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!